rising all the wind.
Hey, where you coming from? Where you going to? I do want to know. Someday we got to be there. Hey, where you coming from? Where you going to? I do want to know. Someday we got to be there. Hey, where you coming from? Where you going to? I do want to know. Someday we got to be there. Hey, where you coming from? Where you going to? I do want to know. Someday we got to be there. Now I agree I'm a road. If you stand and look, there's no day in life. It doesn't mean everyone means I just stay in mind. This is the lesson, each one balance, a chance to advance, transfer and now at the runs. Feel live up in your darkness, feel like a flower immense in the universe. There's so much simple, irreversible, bothered by the friends of teacher or the ass on the corner. Got to find a place that's so far from here, but not away from here. There's a lies in all the way. You know the place, okay, searching the place. Somewhere, sometimes, horizon all the way. They wait for us, but never work to us. So we try to find the horizon all the way. Tell me, tell your friend, on the low there's a phrase, horizon all the wind. Hey, where you coming from? Where you going to? I do want to know. Someday we got to be there. Hey, where you coming from? Where you going to? I do want to know. Someday we got to be there. Hey, where you coming from?
Hello everyone, my name's Dean. Let's talk crypto. This is where you subscribe for daily Bitcoin updates and technical analysis. We track the price of Bitcoin as a proxy for the cryptocurrency markets at large. Today is April 17th, 2023. It's Monday. There's a lot of interesting things, okay? Very interesting things that I'm going to point out as to why this may be one of the most bullish weeks in Bitcoin, in altcoins, in crypto writ large that we've had for years, okay? This is what the charts are showing me. I don't know for sure, right? We don't deal in absolutes, right? I don't waste your time in telling you what's possible. Everything's possible. But we want to focus on the highly probable, okay? This is why we use the tools, the techniques in technical analysis to really underline, highlight what's probable and take advantage of that to the best of our ability. If that interests you, please watch until the very end. Hope you're all doing well on this Monday. Right, let's start with the date. It's very important. I understand that we're doing technical analysis, we're looking at charts, candlesticks, all that stuff, but astrology is a thing. Astrology is a thing. This is not mumbo jumbo. I've talked about this many times on the channel, and I'm going to direct you to do your own research, all right? Always do your own research. Don't take anybody's word for it. Not mine, not anybody else's. But here, if we go to, what's it called? Lunatic Trader, yeah. Okay, this blog in particular, I believe, does a great job at amalgamating all of the best information there is on this subject, okay? And when we're talking about astrology, using astrology in technical analysis to do price speculation, this is not just kind of something that we say or there's anecdotal evidence of. This is something that we have good data on, okay? For more than 50 years, people have been tracking this and compiling data on this subject, and to a statistically significant degree, all right? It's better than chance, right? To a statistically significant degree, we found that on a new moon, price in an asset, typically the market reaches a local top, okay, on or around a new moon. And a market typically reaches a local bottom on and around a full moon, okay? And I've talked about why I believe this is even more it's even more apparent in a trending market, okay? When you're in an accumulative market or a distributive market, a sideways market of any kind, you can still kind of see it, but it's not as forceful, it's not as important, okay? But trending markets, of which we're in right now, really show you just how important this is. This is a trending market, my friends, right? You've seen Bitcoin trending. Let's just zoom out to establish that. Some people may not understand that we're in a trending market, or they may think I'm just saying that. No, this is a trending market. It's been trending since January 1st, 2023. Here you go. Here's a trend. Here's the counter or correction. Here's a trend. Here's a little correction. Here's a trend. Here's a little correction. Expect that this data on moon cycles, right? The astrology, I guess that would be astrology, yeah? Although the moon is a satellite, it's not a star, but I think it still falls within the realm of astrology. I think this data... Wait, did you guys see what I'm seeing? Hold up. Yeah. Okay. Back to this. This data really tells us that we want to be careful and pay attention to the new moons and the full moons, especially when we're in a trend, which we're in right now. When's the next new moon? Some say the 19th, some say the 20th. In any case, it's this week, in the middle of this week. So it's likely that in order to get to the point where we form a local market high, we go up. Okay, so this is my first reason right? Not even looking at the charts, just looking at the astrology, looking at the date, the calendar. This is one of my first reasons for which this may be an up week, okay? But an up week is an up week. That doesn't make it, right? There's no reason for me to say just a random week in April can be the largest, most explosive week that we've had in the coming years. Okay, that's not enough. So stay tuned. I'm gonna tell you why this week is particularly bullish. Okay, particularly bullish. All right, and now on the Bitcoin chart, we can see on the daily time frame exactly what we've been doing. Okay, we've come up and through a crucial level of resistance. Okay, remember, we spent almost 3 weeks consolidating in this area, and this right here, this move was a break of a 3-week resistance, right? Consolidation between about 26.8 and 29.2. All right, we broke that, and we broke into this turquoise box. Okay, and this turquoise box represents the bottom of 500 plus days that Bitcoin was in during the last bull market. Okay, the last bull market was this. Okay, these 500 days were represented the distributive channel for Bitcoin, right, from 69K all the way down to 16K. Okay, in order to distribute shares all the way down to 16K, this was the precedent, this was the cause, this was the effect. Okay, so this support of 30K was the support, okay, for 500 plus days, and that's what we're breaking into, just so you understand the context, the magnitude of this resistance that we're breaking into, and we are successfully doing it. People who think that this rally is over, people who think that this is such a staunch resistance, there's no way we're going to do it, like, we're actually doing it. You have to pay attention, though. If you're paying attention, you'll see that we're doing it, right? We didn't consolidate at the base of this resistance right here, this zone of resistance, for 3 weeks for nothing. No. This was the consolidation, building strength, consolidating at resistance, which I always say is bullish, right? It's not a rejection, right? Consolidation at resistance yields a break of resistance ultimately, okay? But what is the main point that I want to make here? It's that we didn't only break this main resistance that we took 3 weeks to break of 29,000, but we also retested it. This is the most bullish retest. This retest that we just did, that we just completed this morning, was essentially flipping this level right here of 29K, which was really staunch resistance. It took us 3 weeks to break it. Flipping 29K from resistance to support. It was done and over with right here. Okay? That's why this is so crucial. Okay? Understand that you've just completed, right? Remember, basic support and resistance, it's not enough to break, you want to retest. The retest completes the action, completes the entire cycle of flipping, okay? Flipping support to resistance, flipping resistance to support. Now, because that's completed, we can move forward, okay? So there are 2 reasons thus far. Stay with me now. We have our new moon coming on the 19th or the 20th. That's on Wednesday. Today's Monday, 17th, 18th, Tuesday, 19th, Wednesday. So Wednesday or Thursday, however you calculate it, we have our new moon. So remember, the research shows 0 to 3 days after a new moon, we get our market top. So that can very well take us into Friday, Saturday, it doesn't matter, right? But typically we understand in our markets that because the DXY provides all of our liquidity, the inverse relationship that Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies have to the US dollar provides the bulk of the liquidity in our market, especially for Bitcoin, right? Then we need moves to happen between Monday and Friday during the trading times of the DXY, or else they're not likely to hold. So the fact that we completed this retest on Monday morning and are starting our work and have until Friday to do this is massively bullish, okay? That's the other point. We have the full 5 days to execute this run-up, okay? The astrology gives us the full 5 days, Monday through Friday, as does the move itself, given that the retest just happened. This is one of the most bullish things. All right, so stay with me. We got the astrology. We've got the retest, the perfect retest of the 3-week-long break of resistance, or the 3-week-long consolidation at resistance flipped into support. Now, the third thing, if you want to count the fact that we have all 5 days, that's pretty bullish too, okay? Let's say the fourth thing that we have is the idea that if you take your Fibonacci retracement level from this right here, this purported 5-wave move, and this now counter 3-wave move, you can see that you're in the golden pocket, okay? And the golden pocket is mathematical support, okay? So we're going to do that, okay? Look, 5 waves up, okay? This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is likely a 5-wave move to the upside, and this is likely a 3-wave move to the downside, okay? Furthermore, if you take the time it took to execute this 5-wave move, let's go down on the hourly time frame because we want to be more precise, okay? Guys, if you're getting value, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Not selling anything, but would appreciate a like at the very least. All right, if you take the time it took to come up here in these purported 5 waves, you have about 4 days and 16 hours. Let's say actually that this move starts here because I'm looking at this and this, and there's no way that there's a pure impulsive relationship between these 2 waves. I'm not going to explain too much other than to say it's more likely that this actual impulse, if it's an actual impulse, starts here, okay? A wave 1, wave 2 of this actual impulse. Okay, so let's measure the time from this bottom all the way to the top. You get 3 days and 17 hours. Now, let's measure the time from this top to this bottom, and you get about 3 days and 12 hours, 3 days and 11 hours, okay? So there's a comparable time between the move up and the move down. Also, the relationship in price between the move up and the move down is that the move down comes right at the golden pocket, right at the 0.618 Fibonacci retracement level. I don't know if you can see it. It's a little, let's see. Whoops. Do you see that? You came right back to the 0.618 of that 5-wave move, okay, as I've calculated it. Everything tells you that you're likely looking at a wave 1, wave 2 situation, right? Like this, okay? The time and the price relationships are such that they're likely to be a wave 1, wave 2 relationship, okay? Given that wave 2's come down all the way to the golden pocket and it's taken just as long, we now can expect a move up. That's the fourth reason, okay? But still, that doesn't make it necessarily the most bullish move, the most bullish week, potentially, in crypto's past few years. No, that doesn't do it. We need more, okay? We need more. What's more is that if you zoom out, let's go on the weekly time frame. Should we go on the weekly or daily? Yeah, let's go on the weekly. Let's start on the weekly, okay? If you zoom out, understand what we're doing, okay? Understand what we're doing. I think I'm on 4 or 5. I have one more after this. So this $30,000 level is massive, okay? It, as I said, represents the base or the support level of this distributive range, that we had for 500 plus days. You're breaking 500 plus days of resistance right here, okay? Just with this level, with this turquoise, okay? Turquoise level or turquoise rectangle, okay? Understand that just like anything in nature, just like anything in real physical life, once you break strong resistance, right, also retest it in some way, you can fly, okay? You have to build up a certain amount of potential energy that's released kinetically after breaking massive resistance. Do expect all of the pressure of the price to be released in a strong move to the upside, okay? A violently strong move to the upside once you do get back into this range, okay? This is what makes it one of the biggest moves in the past few years, because understand that in the past few years, this has taken literally 2 years to create this resistance. So if you break 2 years worth of resistance just in this example, okay, that you're going to create a lot of energy, or you're going to release a lot of energy from the break of that level. And I want to add an addendum to this point, right? Do remember that on a higher time frame, and I'm going to go into my other chart, my master chart here. On a higher level, you're not just breaking 2 years of resistance, and nobody really talks about this. This is something I've only seen in my videos. That sounds weird, but this is I haven't seen anybody else mention this. This right here is a 10-year resistance right here. 10 years of resistance that you're breaking back into, because during the last bear market, you've dipped down below this 10-year range that Bitcoin has been in. And prove it to yourselves. Draw the channel on the weekly time frame that takes Bitcoin from where it's been, from the beginning of trading all the way until today. You'll see that it stays within a channel. And this was the very first time right here in 2022 rather, that we broke below it, okay? But it wasn't like a complete loss of the channel. We wicked below it. This counts as a wick, and we, I guess, quickly came back and now are just now regaining it. And this is 10 years of resistance, mind you. So you're breaking back above 2 years of resistance and then 10 years of resistance in this example right here, okay? So that's kind of my addendum. So my other reason why this may be the biggest week is that you've never broken 10 years worth of resistance. You've never broken 2 years worth of resistance, okay? And if you have, you don't do it every day, okay? This is not something that comes along every single day. You can see this in the charts really clearly, okay? And everything, the astrology, the fact that we're just starting the move on Monday morning, the fact that you've put in a wave 1 and wave 2, right? And that wave 2 is complete all the way down to the 0618. Everything's telling you it's very likely that this next move is explosive up here. And the subsequent move that you can expect is obviously a retest and then subsequent continuation, okay? So this is just in Bitcoin. We haven't gotten to the altcoins. Trust me, we're going to get to the altcoins. But you can see this in Bitcoin quite clearly, okay? So my sixth reason why you should be really excited for trading this week is this. Look at the DXY, okay? Understand what you're seeing on the US dollar currency index, our main indicator on this channel. This is the underlying asset for all risk-on assets, especially Bitcoin. You do not move a $500 billion market cap by buying and selling it. I don't care if you're Michael Saylor. You're not moving $500 billion worth of a market cap by buying $100 million. Okay? $100 million isn't 1% of $500 billion. Okay? Just do the math. What's really intriguing, I'm going to get rid of this for a second. I'm going to show you this actually a little later after I finish my point. Really intriguing point about the US dollar currency index is that, unbeknownst to most of us, I didn't see this, we were looking to make another move to the top of this channel, okay? And we did. We made another move all the way to the top of this channel. I thought, given that the channel had broken down slightly, we were distributing here, retest resistance as, or old support as resistance, and then break down. But the DXY had other things in mind. It went all the way to the top of the channel and retested this resistance, okay? And if you want, you can count this as a W, X, Y, X, Z, okay? I count this as a 333, okay? I see it very clearly in the how do you say this? In the realm, no, fuck. Why can't I speak English? In the bounds of this channel, okay? I see it very clearly in the bounds of this channel. And now we're at channel resistance right here, okay? Your momentum indicators, if you're, inclined to use indicators, most traders are very indicator heavy. Your momentum indicators are telling you that this move is exhausted. We see an impulse. We know that the final move of any corrective pattern is impulsive, okay? So you can have all these three-wave moves, three-wave moves, three-wave move, three-wave move. You're going to put in a five-wave move or a version of an impulsive wave, sometimes a zigzag, but typically a five-wave at the end, okay? And that essentially, that denotes the completion of that correction. This correction may be complete. Okay, this correction on Monday morning just completed itself. The DXY just completed this correction that has taken about 26 days. 26 days worth of up and down and up and down and up and down. Remember what this correction represents though, okay, on the higher time frame. If you zoom out, you see that this correction in the DXY is not a little thing. It is basically the last ditch effort of the DXY trying to hold on to a level of support that it's losing, okay? You can see very clearly here, you have a head and shoulders pattern brewing, okay? And you just touched the support level and it's basically trying its best to keep it, and it's going to dump. It's going to dump. It's on its way down. You can see that in the momentum indicators as well on the high time frames. So this is not a little thing, okay? And whenever that happens, if it's this week, right, when we eventually lose this channel, it's going to be bigger than people even understand, right? Because understand that this is going to be the precipitating breakdown of a 350-day move, okay? You don't get the breakdown of a 350-day move every day. It might happen this week, given our small time frame analysis on this channel right here, showing us that indeed it's very likely, we don't know if it's 100%, but probability-wise, it's very likely that this channel is done, all right? That this WXYXZ, this 333 is done. And in any case, we're at resistance, so what happens next? You come right back down, okay? So this is huge. You can see it on the momentum indicators on the 4-hourly time frame. You're completely overbought. Hourly time frame, completely overbought. Daily time frame, I think you're getting there, okay? So this is very exciting. Very, very, very exciting. And I think I had one more. Oh, yeah. I'd be remiss if I didn't say something about Bitcoin dominance. And I talked about this in my Saturday update. But Bitcoin dominance is also at a massive resistance level. A lot of people, for some reason, very strange, a lot of analysts, other YouTube, crypto analysts think that this is a breakout. And, even if you're an indicator trader, you don't know how to read price action, you just use indicators, none of your indicators should call this a breakout. I mean, not a good indicator, right? It should show this trend as being exhausted at this level, given that you matriculated up to a 2-year resistance and you're finding resistance there. Furthermore, you're clearly on the smaller time frames you've clearly experienced a swing failure pattern of this move, right? This is already done. Like, if you didn't know, this tells you this is not going to sustain itself, okay? This is a quintessential swing failure pattern. From this, you can expect what I believe is some sort of distribution on a small time frame, and at the end of the day, you're likely going to create a head and shoulders reversal pattern, bearish reversal pattern, for declension or for a move down, okay? And so, if you're getting a move down in Bitcoin dominance, what does this mean practically speaking? That means altcoins are going to run, okay? So this is a great segue into what I want to show you next, okay? This is why. This is likely to be very, very bullish for Bitcoin. We already made the case for Bitcoin, but also very bullish for altcoins, because altcoins, if you're looking and paying attention, oh, actually I was in the right, altcoins, if you're looking and paying attention, are about to break out, okay? You can look at the total too, which is the chart of all the altcoins in the cryptocurrency market, right? This is basically the total crypto market cap minus Bitcoin. So what are the altcoins doing? Well, the altcoins are doing quite well, okay? And they're breaking out right now incontrovertibly, all right? You have this massive inverse head and shoulders. We already highlighted last time, yesterday, Saturday, whatever that was. And you had the breakout of this. This broke out. This is a breakout, okay? And actually, you first had a breakout of this and a retest of that, okay? You have to have your retests or else it's not true. Now, then you had a breakout of this right here on the smaller time frames, which is a smaller sort of move. And this is what you're experiencing right now. So let's dive down into the smaller time frame, hourly time frame. And I've been tracking this, and it looked like you were getting a triangle here. And here you have a swing failure pattern. But at the end of the day, to be honest, I would say that this is more of a flat correction of sorts, okay? It's a flat correction. And let's see what our momentum indicators are saying. Okay, our momentum indicators are bottomed out on the hourly time frame. They're bottomed out on the 4-hourly time frame. They're ready to run. Let's see on the daily. Not quite. On the 15-minute, they're overheated. But on the 4-hourly and the hourly, which are important intraday time frames, you have this flat correction that has broken out of this level right here, right? And somewhere in here, the only thing that makes me nervous is the lack of a retest, okay? The lack of a retest. Somewhere in here, I'm wondering if the neckline isn't further down and this wasn't the retest right here, okay? That's possible. That's possible, okay? I don't like to use the word possible. Everything's possible. That's probable, okay? I'm not sure. But I don't want to count against this continuing because this does look like a veritable flat correction. And my momentum indicators are telling me that we're completely oversold on the 4-hourly time frame. I think that you're going back up. I think you're going to continue this move up, okay? So this is very, very, very crucial. But what makes it one of the largest moves in altcoins in years is that we've literally been in a bear market accumulation for years. And we're just getting out. This move to the upside represents a move or breakout of a long-standing resistance. So it's possible, it's probable rather, that you get this move all the way to your next important resistance, maybe here, or maybe you go all the way up to this salmon rectangle, which is your next major resistance up here, okay? Because, again, there's a lot of imbalance in the chart. I've talked about that before. So this is not something you get every day. A breakout of, a 300-day line or level of resistance, which the altcoins have been under, all right? So it's very clear by the Bitcoin dominance, by looking at the total 2, by looking at the by the DX at the DXY and what Bitcoin's doing, that this is likely, okay, likely going to be a very important week for crypto, very important week for Bitcoin, very important week for altcoins. And I think it's a great idea to prepare for a massive move up. That's why I'm exposed to this market. All right, guys, if you got value, please like, share, and subscribe. Let's see. Hello, Akanksha. What's going on? Moro51 says, what? Akanksha says, what happened? Did I miss something? I don't know. Moro51 says, lunar cycle has big effects on market. Only caught the end of it, but mind blown. Yeah, it's crazy, right? It's absolutely crazy, to Morrow's point, how the lunar cycle affects the market. And, you know, this is something I didn't always know. When I learned it, my mind was absolutely blown. That it's not just the tides, it's not just menstrual cycles and our hormonal cycles, like, it controls our markets as well. Crazy, right? But I guess it makes sense, right? Because markets are an extension of us, and we're natural, we're natural beings in a natural world. And so if there's an effect, if the natural world has an effect on us, the moon cycles, the tides, and everything, like the seasons have an effect on us, then obviously it also has an effect on our psychology and our fear and greed and all that stuff, and that translates directly into the charts, into our buying and selling habits, you know, these candlesticks that we look at all the time. Kangsha says, there's a new project I'm thinking of accumulating called Anchor Protocol. Anchor Protocol I've heard of before. I don't think that's new. Blue Creep says, what's up? Anchor Protocol, I don't know. Is that... I think I used to use Anchor Protocol. Isn't that the one that was associated with Luna? I don't know if anybody knows, but Anchor Protocol may have been associated with Luna. Is one of those protocols where you would stake and then receive 20% on your stable coins. Is that correct? I mean, that was like everybody was doing it. I was so close to doing it. I'm glad I didn't do it. But in that Anchor Protocol? Anyway, Blue Creek says, what's up? And Akanksha says, could you look at this chart? What is the higher time frame price target? All right, let's have a look at Anchor Protocol. I don't know anything about the fundamentals. I don't even know what... Let's just have a quick look, because I'm not sure. And actually, before we do that, let's have a quick look. What's Bitcoin been doing for the past few minutes? Looks like we're putting in, on the smaller time frames, we're putting in a rounded bottom. And as we always say, rounded bottoms designate extremes, okay? Rounded anything. Rounded features designate extremes, right? Rounded bottoms are bottoms, rounded tops are tops. And you can see that throughout. Here's two quick examples. So here on the 15-minute time frame, you can see this is a potential rounded bottom, okay? If this breaks out, then that'll be confirmed, okay? And then you can also see that on the top here. This is a larger example, but also a type of rounded top, right? Rounded features typically designate some sort of extremes. Doesn't tell you exactly how far it's going down and all that stuff, but it typically designates a top and a bottom of price action. Okay, so that's Bitcoin, a small time frame. Let's look at our watch list really quickly and see if anything is active. Okay, DYDX seems to be picking up. Not so much. It's done its damage. Yeah, okay. A little bit. It seems to be picking up. Dogecoin seems to be waking back up. Alright. Interesting. Yeah, don't expect this to stay red for long. Right? As I'm reading it, as I'm seeing it, I don't expect us to stay red for long. If in fact, I do expect us to go green really quickly. in a way that we are not used to going green, because we haven't had a clean pump in a very long time. Okay, I'm not talking about inching up and inching up, right? I'm talking about a clean pump. A lot of these look ready to go. Okay, ready to go. Yeah, you can just see that we're basically right behind high levels or high time frame. Well, not high time frame, but these big resistances, right? And when I say big, I mean like 15, 14 hours resistances that we're about to break, right? You can see that right here in DYDX. Here in Ethereum, it would be like this, right? H bar, you can see this is your resistance that you've been under for the past 20 to 24 hours right here. You're looking to break that. Okay, Link was doing really well over the weekend, and it's just continuing, right? This looks really bullish. Okay, Lit entry looks like it's going up. Don't be surprised to end the day green. Okay, and there's another point I didn't make, but this is important too. Remember I've said, let's just finish before I start speaking and lose my train of thought. So Sand, SHIB, yeah, everything's looking good for reversal. Everything is looking good for reversal. Theta, Tron, VeChain, XRP, yes, look at that. That's good, that's good. Actually, you know what? Okay, let me do one thing. I'm gonna remove some margin from my XRP trade and add it to my bunk position. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Let me do this. Let's see. All right. Let's see. Okay, let's see. 1 second. Let's try that again. Okay, let's see. All right. Okay, and okay, let's go here, transfer this into perp. No. Perp to fund. Okay, spot. Okay, here we go. Okay, perfect. All right. So, what were we saying? What were we saying? Let's see. Okay, Roadwell says powerful support here. What are we looking at? I don't even know. Oh yeah, XRP. Yeah, XRP looks powerful. XRP looks good. This basically looks like a nice pivot, double bottom breakout right there. So what did I want to do? Yes, I wanted to. I completely lost my train of thought. We're looking at Bitcoin, small time frames. I said it was likely that we get a bounce from here, rounded bottom, double bottom, whatever. Everything's looking bullish, blah blah blah. And then we're looking at some things that started to run. I said Link was bullish. And we're going to we're gonna check Anchor for Kongsha, right? Anchor. Let's go to CoinMarketCap because I have no idea what that is. If it's the previous protocol, then I would stay away from it. Because there was an Anchor protocol that like was so popular because it was just giving you 20%, right? In this this protocol. It's kind of like a hedge fund, but you know everybody was doing it. Even the funds were doing it. And then it is that. Is that Anchor? What is this? And guys, if you have any assets, altcoins, whatever you want me to look at, I'm happy to look at them. Just put it in the chat. There was something I was thinking about. Whatever. If it's not important, I won't remember. So what is Anchor? Decentralized web services, DAS. Okay, this is different. Yeah, I don't know about it. And, you know, guys, I don't, like, on the show, I don't look at fundamentals. You know, I do fundamentals for my own personal research if I'm going to accumulate certain things, especially on spot. But there was another Anchor that was... Okay, yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Anchor protocol. See, that is not a good look. They need to do something about that name because this was a scam, unfortunately. This was a scam. I don't know if everybody remembers Anchor protocol. That was really, really unfortunate. It was great for while it lasted, and people were getting 20% returns for doing nothing, just staking their things. But yeah, it was part of the Terra ecosystem. Okay, anyway, we're looking at a different Anchor. Okay, I just wanted to make sure that was the case. There was something else I wanted to talk about. Something else I saw. Something else I was thinking about. I really wanted to tell you guys about. It wasn't about the total too. It wasn't about Bitcoin dominance. Let me just have a quick look here. I look at the chart so much sometimes. I'm like, oh, I'll definitely bring that up, but then sometimes I forget. No, it wasn't anything here. I don't even open this watch list. Was it miscellaneous? No, I'm not looking at the SPX. No, DXY I already talked about. Bitcoin dominance, total. Yeah, whatever. If it's important, I'll remember. Okay, let's look at Anchor protocol. Okay, Anchor. Let's go here. Let's go into this watch list. ANKR. Let's do the Binance. Okay, so high time frame. Let's zoom out as much as possible. I don't know what I was doing here. I don't remember. Okay, looks to me, upon first glance, that this is an impulse. Question is it purely impulsive, or is it a corrective impulse, which is what you get in a zigzag, a 5-3-5 move? And I want to say it's the latter, only because just eyeballing it, looking at the time it took to go up in 5 and the time it took to come down in 3, you spent so much more time coming down in 3. It's very unlikely that this is associated to that in a purely impulsive way. So I think what you're looking at here is 5 waves up, 3 waves down, and then you're looking at making 5 waves up. Here, on the smaller time frames, you've already put in a smaller version of this, okay? You can see a bull flag. This is a quintessential bull flag where you have your flagpole and then you have your flag. So you can expect another move up like this, okay? And remember, with these bull flags, let's go down on the daily time frame. What you can expect is a break towards the apex of the triangle. So if this is your triangle right here, you're pretty much at the apex. So do expect a break here. This is confluent with our larger analysis on altcoins, that they're breaking out and that the DXY is going down, right? It's not out of the ordinary. It wouldn't be surprising to expect a break any day, quite literally, of this pattern, okay? And a break of this pattern, remember, is a resumption or an evolution of this 5-3-5 move on the smaller time frames. And then another way to look at it is you're creating a bullish reversal pattern, right? An inverse head and shoulders right here. Left shoulder, right shoulder. This is your bullish reversal pattern right here. So this is very, as far as trades go, I mean, everything's kind of easy right now, right? It's relatively easy because so many things are printing so many bullish patterns. Yet and still, a lot of people are bearish. A lot of people are kind of up, and a lot of people are very skeptical of this move. But if you pay attention, if you know how to read price action, you're conflicted as to what to buy and how much to buy of it, right? Because that's how bullish everything looks right now. Yeah. So this looks really good for continuation. And in terms of targets, if we were to go back on the higher time frame, I wouldn't give this. I wouldn't give this projection too much weight, only because this is a corrective impulse, and this retracement is corrective, obviously, right? So it's an A wave and a B wave. You can make a projection using an A wave and a B wave, but understand that if you're going into full impulse, and this is your A wave, and this is your B wave, and then your C wave is going to be full impulse, just know simply that your minimum extension is going to be the 1 Fibonacci extension, okay? More likely than not. Everything's probabilistic. More likely than not. Minimum is going to be the 1 Fibonacci extension. But you can go as high as you want because this is full impulse. So this is going to be a new mode of price action that has nothing to do with these. This is basically the launch pad. It's kind of like when you're taking a rocket up into space, or when you're taking a vessel into space, or whatever, a satellite, and you have rockets, and then you jettison the rockets, right? These are the rockets that take you up there, and then you get rid of them. This space shuttle explorer, or this satellite, no longer has anything to do with these two corrective waves. This is why it's hard to make accurate predictions with two corrective waves, even if you're in a zigzag. The only accurate thing I would say is minimally, I would project the 1 Fibonacci extension. But, I mean, in a bull market, I'm going much higher. I'm not taking profit at the 1 for damn sure. I'm looking to take profit at the very least around the 1236 and the 1618, but you can go much higher. So yeah, I would say, to summarize, I would look for a minimum from here 127x minimum, and then there's no real maximum because it's an impulse wave. I don't know how high it can go. and I don't have any support and resistance to show me a next major resistance. So that's what I'm looking at with Anchor. And this may have been what was on the chart when we first pulled it up, right? Cool. At least I'm consistent, yeah? So that's Anchor. Let's have a quick look at the DXY. Is it finally breaking down? Let's see. Hourly time frame, 15-minute time frame. Okay, we're looking for a distributive pattern here. Okay, it's possible. It's possible. Looking for a distributive pattern over here. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's have a quick look at the our regular altcoins, right? In our on our watch list. Let's go hourly time frame, and then let's call it a stream. So just checking in again with Bitcoin. We look like we're finding support on this level, which was your previous resistance of 29K, right? Where you spent 3 weeks consolidating, right? You come back, you retest that level, that resistance as support. That's great. There's nothing more bullish about this. And I guess one last thing I'll say is, this is not complicated. Nothing about this analysis is complicated. And it's the power, I want to highlight the power of simple but very clear support and resistance analysis, right? So many traders today will tell you that this is bearish because Bitcoin came down 3%. And they're like selling their positions and stuff like that. And that's fine on the short term. But a lot of people are talking about going down way below 20 to 25. Some people are saying like this is the start of it. It may be, but it's unlikely. But it would if you kept going without coming to this level, because remember, you spent 3 weeks consolidating. So if you don't retest this resistance as support, then you do expect at some point to come back down, right? So this is really bullish on a higher time frame for continuation of this move. That's important to state. But it's simple support and resistance, right? And that can take you really far. Even if you don't know anything about Elliott waves, you don't know anything about Gann or Dow or Wyckoff, simple support and resistance on any time frame can get you really, really, really far. Okay. Cardano is looking like, let's see. Okay, I'm looking at this, and the first thing that jumps out to me is I've got a 5-wave move here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay? I got a 5-wave move. I think it's quite clear. And I'm going to look and see how long this 5-wave move took, more or less. It took about 3 days and 9 hours. Now my retracement took about 2 days, okay? 2 days, 5 hours. Okay. Chances are this isn't finished. Meaning you could expect this to continue, okay? That's basically what I'm seeing. It's not that this is a... So I'm thinking, if this is a wave 1, then wave 2 is going to take about as long, and it's going to come down, between the 0.5618 of that wave 1. But in this case, the time it took to come up and the time it took to go down are not the same. This is much shorter, okay? And I'm thinking that this basically means do expect more in this impulse. It's not finished. That's all that is. That this impulse is incomplete, okay? So if I'm taking this most recent move from here, when Cardano was at 42.39 cents. Okay, this is corrective. This is corrective. Okay. Here's what. You have to pull this wave starts here, not here. Okay, I just started it here. This is a good example of really, before measuring these, you have to know where to measure from. And this is not something I knew when I first started Elliott wave theory. A lot of people know 5 waves up, 3 waves down. They know about that. They know maybe about ABC and WXY and all that stuff. But I think the difference between intermediate Elliottian and intermediate Elliottian Dean and advanced expert Elliottian Dean is that I can look at this and be like, oh, okay, I can tell that's corrective. Just eyeballing it. I know that there's no way you go up like this and you come down like this and it be impulsive, because the time is off. The time with the wave up and the wave down is off. They're not the same. So this has to be corrective. And I only want to start my impulse when I see a pure wave 1, wave 2 that takes the same amount of time up as down, comes down to between the 382 and the 618 of the wave 5s. So this is why I'm going to redo this by pulling my Fibonacci retracement from here, not here. Okay, and that will change my analysis somewhat. Okay, so from here, right, I can see that I've hit the 382 and beyond. So I know for a fact that this isn't a wave 4 or anything like that. Okay, but now let's measure the time from the bottom to the top here. Okay, I get about 2 days and 6 hours. Now let's measure from the top to the bottom of this retracement. And I get about 2 days and a few hours. Okay, so I can say with a high degree of probability that this is likely finished in terms of correcting these 5 waves. This 3-wave retracement is likely finished, just judging on the time. I hope that's clear. I know this is kind of more advanced topics on, Elliott wave, and I don't know anybody really talking about this because people pull Fibonacci retracement levels from wherever, however, but there's a way. You don't just pull your Fibonacci retracement level from anything for it to be meaningful. You have to be consistent. If you really want to measure pure impulse, you have to know how to determine where the wave begins and where it ends. Usually it's clear where it ends, but where it begins is a little more challenging. Okay, so that's Cardano. Algorand, nice bounce. That's the first thing that comes to mind. When I see a nice bounce, right, a strong bounce, typically that's my initial break of structure. Like a big bounce, big wick to the downside. I know that you're already starting a reversal. So this is what I'm seeing here on the smaller time frames. I'm seeing a rounded bottom, okay? And so I'm not shocked or I'm not surprised if this continues to go up and reverses the smaller downtrend in Algorand. And then just generally speaking, support and resistance. This looks quite simple, right? This is, you came down into this level, you consolidated a bit. This was clearly resistance, right? You popped out, you broke that resistance, you tested it once, and you tested it twice with this flat correction. There's nothing more to say about this. This is likely your pivot point where you reverse up and out. This sounds like carnival music. Like if I'm taking my son out to a nice carnival, maybe somewhere in Disney or something like that. Didn't this sound like carnival music? All right, anyway, Arweave. I would do the same analysis here in terms of support and resistance, okay? You fell into this trench. You consolidated a bit. You created a resistance. You could say over here. Okay, let's try that again. Over here. You broke it. You retested it once. You retested it twice. The way you retest it in a flat correction is normal. Okay. Typically, you don't get that 1-2 retest, right? Or that V-shaped retest. You typically get that W retest because you're retesting with a flat correction, right? A 3-wave move that's a flat correction, not a zigzag. You get the V-shape when your retest is a zigzag, okay? But you're not getting zigzags as much as flats, typically. So, in most assets, right? Most assets will give you flat corrections. That's 3, 3, 5, right there. That's your retest of this level. So, it looks good for continuation to the upside, okay? And again, I can't stress enough. Understand that a retest of this level. Okay, let's just say that again. A retest of this level in Arweave pretty much means you're completing this entire cup and handle pattern. All right, it's not just that this was resistance here, but it was also resistance here. Okay, so this is the final move, the final retest. Remember, the retest is always the final sequence of price action before the big and true breakout, where you're switching from one level to another. This whole thing of 45 days is coming to a close. This entire sequence of price action that lasted 45 days. Your handle, your cup, your neckline, your neckline broken to the upside, retested with this flat correction. That's 45 days of cup and handle price action breaking out on Arweave. Okay, so and that's now this week, Monday, going into a new moon. Awesome. This is very, very, very bullish. Okay, so that's Arweave. And guys, even if you're not involved in some of these assets, I hope if you're interested, I don't know who's watching and how involved you all are in price action, but I guess if you're into price action, you're probably watching, right? Or if you're watching, you're probably into price action, because I'm very, very, very price action heavy and analysis heavy. I'm not talking about news. I'm not talking about, I'm not trying to make jokes left and right. This is just talking shop, right? Even if you're not trading the asset, I would hope that these analyses of assets that you're not involved in just give you more screen time, more practice, more exposure to these different patterns and how to look at them and how to read them, right or wrong. And maybe concepts that you may not have thought of, or if you're looking at a chart, you may not have seen something. And, that's, I think, how you get better. And this is why I still watch analysis to this day. That's not mine. Granted, there's not that much good analysis, I'll be honest. I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but very few people are into actually looking at price action. With the rise of technology and, just the advent of so many indicators, there's a lot of lazy indicator traders out there. Lots. Some of them are effective, some of them are not so much. But, people can't read a thing. I think the worst thing is to be chart illiterate. And even if the indicators help you on certain time frames at certain points in time, if you can't read an obvious move because you're chart illiterate and you don't know how to read price action, I think you have to go back and redo your whole, chart education. So I think that's a travesty because, your ceiling, you have a hard ceiling for how good you can get, and you might just get lucky because you've interpreted your indicator properly in this instance or that instance. And then if a certain time frame or a certain move comes, you don't do it right, you get smoked. And you won't even know what hits you. Okay, basic attention token. This one's a little less straightforward. Okay, you did have that dip here. Okay, and you can say that this is at a neckline, okay? And you do have a 1, 2, 3 wave move. That is also a type of flat correction. So that can be said. Again, all in all, this would be a breakout of about a week-long move, right? Just looking at this right here. Okay. Small time frame. Okay, small time frame. You're looking at, I mean, this doesn't look pretty, but you do expect all of this to be a down and to the right consolidation reversal. Okay, reason being, you don't get this feature right here, right, with this big push up testing the top right here. You don't get that when you're not in reversal mode, right? So I think, so that's a, you know, strong corrective move. I think this is like an A wave, a B wave, A wave, B wave, and then a pivot. So you're basically doing your consolidation reversal down into the right. That's showing weakness, right? It's showing weakness, but it is promising for an eventual break up. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. Let's go back on the hourly time frame. Guys, if you're getting value, please like, share, and subscribe. Blur token. Okay, this one broke out on the weekend, and this is another example of a massive cup and handle that you broke out of and retested as support. Okay, this is, I mean, this is a great, not, I'm not going to say not financial advice. This is a really, really cool project. And it is, I think it's going to do so well that some exchanges limit how much you can buy. That's a common thing, right? But the exchange, I wanted to buy more of it on the new Bing X exchange that I'm using. And they're like, no, you can only buy a couple $1,000 worth of this. And I'm like, damn, okay. And it's, I mean, the second I bought it, it started going up, but I think it's gonna do a lot of upside because it's a small cap and it's relatively new project. And I mean, just look at the chart. Look at that. This is gonna fly. Look at that. I mean, look at it. I can't explain it any better. Just other than to say, just look at it. What do you think it's gonna do? Right? That's on the daily. So, I literally bought, quite literally, as much as I could. And they wouldn't let me buy anymore. At least on that exchange. I have some more on another exchange, but I'm talking about on leverage, not spot. Okay, and yeah, when it does break out, don't expect it to stop anytime soon. Okay, so that's Blur token. Bonk,